Sport pedos. Come on.
Yeah, exactly.
We've been here. We've been here long enough.
You could tell his
Yeah, we've been here
intention.
long enough to know most of the time you can tell.
You guys really triggered him.
No, there was no triggering. That dude's a piece of shit.
It was not that hard. It was not that hard.
Rock, you got your hand up, Bo.
Here, Bad, go first. Give me 15 seconds. Kids are getting on the bus.
Bad.
Hey, I hope that guy goes wherever he came from and brings 10 of those fuckers back. I don't care anymore. I'm like, this play has broken me. And if you're going to shill me hard. Give me the A game. I want the full, I want around the world. I want the full experience. I don't care anymore. Fuck, like, citizens up here going, man, you can't trust PP and other people like that. Fucking give it to me. I'm here for it. I'm never doing this shit again because I'm not.
We can slap you with a 16-inch Malise.
Give it to me, man. I'm never.
We'll bring you back, dude.
I'm never
Yo,
doing this.
anybody able to clarify what happened there?
Yes, you are.
What is going down? Like I'm a busy person sometimes, and
no one
recently.
knows, man.
I love how you
I'm
just
sure
said
Kaiser
that.
will have a great take in Discord.
I'd share my take. I don't know if people want to hear it, but if so, nobody's interrupting me. So my take is this is more than just people. I think this is a spiritual deal. I truly, truly do. And when we realize it's a spiritual battle, we're not battling against people or each other or the division. And we can come into that. And it's a hard concept for me to get, but I'm trying to understand it. We're under spiritual attack. And when we can rise above it and get through it, it helps us just become stronger, better people in general, right? Because what our responsibility and what it's going to be if this shit goes down like I think it's going to go down, we need to be able to rise above this division and all this stuff, you know. So I might do a space or something. I wrote a little paper. It'd probably take me 10 minutes to go through. Maybe I'll throw a space up or something to talk about it. But I've been trying to process it all, the emotion, you know, feelings, emotions, and our free will versus being triggered by our subconscious. So anyway, that's my take.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to quickly say sorry I got distracted, but I woke up and, you know, my timeline, I'm getting tagged in comments about, look what's going on, or she told you so type shit. And it's like, I ignore all of it, guys. I'm so grateful for everyone here. So grateful for the ones of you who continue to show up and stick to the same routine. And the way we've been doing things, I think, is the right way. And personally, I am not at all fucking concerned. The only division we allow is the division we create in our mind. This shit's kind of crazy, but I'm not here for it. I'm here for the ones that are here right now. And so, I'm just going to ignore a lot of this outside noise and continue to operate how we've always operated.
Respect. Yeah, it is definitely
Well said, Rock.
right now.
Yeah, Rock, we love you, man.
Like, people are trying to do this "I told you so" shit, and it's like, you know, things change daily. How we handle the changes, that's what matters. So some people might start making noise that may have not made noise before, but my mentality and attitude is not going to change. And the ones who share similar sentiments, you know, we'll see that. And it'll make it easy for me to gravitate towards them. So, you know, once again, just nothing but love for pretty much 99% of the group here, because I appreciate
I do. Okay, so I
Love you too,
agree
brother.
with you and hear you, but I do, as devil's advocate, have to bring up that if Kai's so chooses, he can literally get the PP show removed off YouTube under copyright strike because he owns the PP show copyright or trademark.
That's
Can I challenge
Kai's
that,
funeral.
Hachi?
Like, that's his funeral.
Well, but that's the
I disagree with you,
no,
Hachi.
legally.
Can I tell you why?
Go ahead.
He can't legally because I believe it's recorded that he said, I'll send you
Yeah,
the
but that's
money,
going to have
and
to
it's
be
all
proven in
on.
court after the fact, and that would mean that the PP show would be down until that court case was shown and proven. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here.
I don't think so, because legally, PP could get an injunction and show that evidence to a
Yeah, but
judge, and the judge could do an injunction and
let me
stop it
revert
until
back
the court.
further. Why is this happening?
I stand by what I said earlier. I don't need it.
Yeah, man. Like, you know, like just listening to Kais last night, you know, like it sounded like PP had ignored his calls for about 10 days since the Florida trip, and they had some beef to squash. And, you know,
Okay,
as
that's fine.
good people in
That's
this group,
fine.
we were trying to make sure that, you know, we don't want to lose Kais. He's been a supporter, you know, through and through. But you know, like he doesn't need to resort to these immature tactics. It's stupid. It's uncalled for.
He
You
actually,
know, like and if he wants us to support his show, why would we do that? You know, unless we found out later that PP was a bad character, and I can't ever say that because he's never steered me wrong. Like everything he's ever read and all the rest, you know, like through those dockets, I came to the same conclusion, and you know, it was my choice to sign that waiver or not, with having rights to litigation. And you know, I mean, if anything, that was the only thing that you know brought any kind of like skepticism my way with the show. And I'm just going to be honest about it. You know, and it's like, but you know, this is our responsibility. You know, we're all, you know, adults here, and you know, we have to do our own research and make sure that you know, but again, you know, plausible deniability is something that if I was in his shoes, I'd be scared to death.
let me
I
ask
mean,
you,
I would not want to be like the deep fucking value of Bed Bath and Beyond, because that's what he is right now.
let me
I
ask
mean,
you, Andrew. One thing that just keeps standing out to me during that Pulte space yesterday, he said that a lot of the, let's see, how did he? I can't remember exactly how he worded it, but
the
he said,
Tesla investors,
some of
he
these
knew.
people that are saying don't pursue litigation might be because they would be held liable for something. And I keep like digging, like, what would they be held liable for?
Crime.
Exactly. And so that's what's just got me curious as to, like, it just keeps ringing in my head. He's like, these people don't want to do this, you know, because they might be the ones held liable.
And you know, it's like I did hear Daphne last night say that she thought that Mark Arbacil was not a good fit because she had dealt with some stuff in LTP, and you know, with me being in Mullen, I obviously got bagged because of 2 reverse splits, and they, you know, took quite a bit from a lot of retail, and they've uncovered some spoofing. There's predatory lending in that one, and they've got Christian Attar, and so you know they've got West Christian on that. But like, you know, I don't know what route to take. Maybe I think we should invite Pulte in to see like who he would suggest to hire as far as litigation. You know, Alex was saying that we should all just pursue it ourselves. Um, you know, it's just
We only need to get
it's
opinion what's
confusing.
our right are right now.
Yeah, we want to know.
We
You're
are not
right.
pursuing
That's right.
legal
And
anything. We just need to know what our rights are. That's what he wants us to find out.
well, he yeah, that and you know, I mean, if they're If the math doesn't check out, like this waterfall should,
How
be handled.
how could somebody be found liable if they're just trying to explore their rights? That's the question.
Exactly.
Hi, can everybody hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good, man.
Yeah. I just have a question for everybody. Like, on the one hand, a lot of individuals who I respect say, trust the process. But at the same time, we all collectively agree it's a completely fraudulent system. I can't reconcile how we can hold these two thoughts in our head at the same time. Like, I don't get it. I think exploring, like, I think it's a healthy step in the right direction what Pulte is doing to kind of to provide that sort of monetary foundation for Michael to explore, because he's a trusted, credible member in the community. There's another lawyer in the community as well, that's looking into things too. Uh, when I think about this aspect of the play at this particular point of time, I kind of think about Carl Icahn, and I think, like, when he's thinking strategically, he dots all of his I's, he crosses all of his T's, and he doesn't leave anything. Uh, like, everything he does is evidence based. He covers every single angle. And the way, like, my philosophy around this is like, well, what would one of these guys do? They would make sure every single fucking aspect is potentially covered. So, like, I I'm personally all for everyone, seeking out, uh, exploring what's out there in terms of uh, speaking with lawyers, whatever it is you want to do. I'm not against people that don't want to do that, but I think this whole notion of just trust the process at this stage in the game is bold, like unnecessarily bold, and that maybe we should proceed with a little bit of caution and not rely on whatever intuition or assumptions we have in the legal domain if we don't have expertise in that area. Like, I'm not a lawyer, so whenever, like, someone mentions class action, it's like, if you don't know, if you've never had experience in that area, don't have unwavering conviction about what you say, because we don't there's so much nuance in these fields. We need to talk to credible individuals that function in a lawyer capacity.
Exactly.
Anyways,
Do
I'm
you
done.
think?
Thank you.
Do you think Icon's involved?
And
I don't know. I hope so.
Like, think about it like
see, I'm
this.
like,
if Bill Pulte basically says things that Ryan Cohen can't, and they're 69ing in their tweets, and he's releasing the Teddy books when Pulte holds them up. Think about all this. He's tied to fucking
They're creating the baby. If he's the 69 is the baby.
If Pulte tells us to do something, I would kind of take that as RC telling us to do it.
Yep.
And so on the PP show last night, PP's like, I'm not going to do anything unless RC tweets this and tells me to do it.
I think that's
So what
separate.
happened
I
to
think
the
that's
connection?
separate.
What
Hold on,
happened to the
hold on.
connection
I
between
think what he
Pulte
was saying
and
to
RC?
that was him individually as currently the literal trademark to his show, which can take down his show and make him not be able to have his show, is being threatened to be taken away. Or
What if he changes the name of the show?
well, which he's probably going to
Yeah, I
end up
agree with
having to
Rock on
do.
that.
I'm just bringing up, we are at some unique times, and I'm not saying
I'm just pointing out the very easy solution
either
to his
person
problem.
has their each person has their own views, so each person might be right in their own mind. Just as a bystander, I see a conflict that was in effect created by a single person, when if he wanted in there were so many routes to take. That's how I'll put it. There were so many routes to take, and look at where we are this morning.
Hachi, if PP, if there was a name conflict due to Kai's, I have enough. PP has enough goodwill and loyalty amongst individuals in this community that people will naturally go wherever they need to, whether the name of the show's the same, if it's a modification, if it's a completely different name.
Yep.
I don't think it'll have any bearing on the audience that PP has acquired over time,
Right,
and
but
that
he wasn't talking about like the community. In my view, my interpretation of what he said was the PP show, is not doing anything until shareholders are made whole or at least told what the fuck is going on. And that I
he
agree
was
with.
saying that with respect
Going to an event.
going to
Yes,
Atlanta and
exactly.
Chicago.
Exactly. He
Yeah.
was not
Why
talking
would he change
about,
his thing?
having lawyers not go, he wasn't talking about those. He was talking about him personally. He will not be attending events until something occurs. That doesn't mean he's not going to be part of, making that happen. That also doesn't mean that he is. It's just him as himself is not going to do things that, it's not even pressured onto him or anything, but that are opportunities that were presented to him. He wants to
But
make people, his viewers, satisfied by figuring out what the fuck is going on. And until that is resolved, then he would go and do shows again, is how I took it.
but to talk about the naming, so Kai's was hurt, and he spoke when he was hurt. I truly don't believe it's going to come down to
I
that,
hope not.
Hachi.
I
I
like
really
Kai.
think he felt
I
hurt.
hope that's not how
Yeah,
he conducts himself, because that is very revealing. And I don't think I would
yeah. Well,
support
he
that.
was hurt at the time, and it should have given it. I agree. He made a mistake. I do too. I'm trying to give Kai's grace, but I don't think it's going to come down to the end all be all. That he's going to withhold the name. I really don't believe that. In the end of the day.
Yeah, I was on
It's,
the guy's call. I need to say something. I love the
Please
It
do.
drama.
wouldn't help Kai's build this audience if he behaves
Hold
that
on.
way. I'll tell you that.
But Kai's only mentioned that two sentences, and when he saw our reaction, I don't think he's gonna pursue that action. So he just was mad and hurt. Yeah, Jason is right. But we calm him down, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hope all
Ah,
is well. That's why I stand in the middle, just watching and being aware that there's some weird stuff happening, and yeah.
And he promoted
but I
Does
think
it
that's our
last night.
job.
He promoted.
Our job is to hold each other accountable, in my opinion.
Absolutely,
does it
but but
really
but it but it doesn't
Okay, go
change
ahead,
why
Phil.
I'm still here. I'm still here for undeniable facts. David Caston, he took shares, he didn't take. But there's so many facts, actual facts of why
Yep.
I'm here. The other thing is,
Take
there's a
your
whole lot of
chances.
noise in the last 3 days. How much of it is just noise? Whole lot of noise.
I feel like all of it
Yep.
is noise, unless we got a new report.
Jason, as you said, we're all here to hold each other accountable, but we're also here to hold each other up.
Absolutely, I love that, brother.
Absolutely, I love
Yep.
you guys. Hey, you guys are the best.
I can't hear
I
him,
mean,
Brother
I mean,
Devil.
hell, Chad's having sleepovers with the crew.
Yeah, I had a
That
sleepover with Chad last night.
you fucking degens. Hey,
And
Rock.
then even through all
Hey,
the
sorry, I
noise,
came off Wi-Fi after taking the kids to this bus stop, so there's a few people I can't hear. Sorry if I spoke over anyone, but yeah, I mean, anyone who feels jaded today, those are the people that I'm okay like not interacting with. I want to interact with the people who are emotionally strong enough to deal with day-to-day changes without freaking the hell out, or being able to stand on convictions in some regard, or be malleable in some sense. Players might change things like, but it's your attitude that really matters. And a lot of these attitudes of the griping and the feeling jaded and butthurt, like I'm over it. Like if you can't take this on the chin, regardless, not any situation in life will ever be perfect. Any interaction, nothing will go the way you want it to go. It's just a kind of like universal law. And if you're sitting here expecting that players are going to act a certain way, or people are going to build, it's just never works out that way. And I think people are just kind of setting themselves up for that disappointment to make it easy for them to lash out now and cause disarray. It just comes off as weak to me. To all the people who feel jaded right now, in my opinion, you're coming off incredibly mentally weak, and I just feel bad in a sense.
There's no reason to add fuel to the fire of division.
Yeah, they got to figure
and
that
I
out
feel
on
like
their own, really.
I feel like the more we talk about things that involve two individuals, that they don't. I don't know. It's all noise, Like none of this shit matters, and like I have my own opinions on law
Exactly.
that pertain to that exact opinion of like, I've had numerous conversations with plenty of people on having like lawsuits and all this shit, and to me, I know it's not a popular opinion. It comes off as covering your ass. I don't think that if someone comes in and shows 5 months of support, it's going to be an easy thing to be like, yeah, I didn't have insider information and like I wanted to rally a group of stockholders. That's a pretty serious insider trading lawsuit for someone that's such a big name as Pulte. You need to protect yourself, whether he knows stuff or he doesn't. And this whole time, it's never come off that he knows a lot about our play. It's more so that he enjoys Kai's, he enjoys PP, he enjoys the show and the community we have. It's not necessarily that he knows a lot about our play. The guy's not reading dockets with us. He might listen in on a few of the DD spaces that Sal and
He
Jake
does
are
have the
hosting.
same lawyer as RC.
But there's too
Yeah.
many connections to me. I
That,
don't
yeah.
I don't see him not knowing anything. I don't want to incriminate the guy, so I'm not going to be out here being like, "Yep,
Did
this
you
is just
did
a."
you think that maybe his lawyer said, "Bro, you're gonna get slapped hard. You need to correct this."
Exactly. And how long has he been correcting it? Since the fucking sorry, Chad. Since the time he came on the PP show while he was in his pool and was talking about the unicorns and the sinkholes. Ever since then, including the live event, he's been covering his ass. That's how I see it. That's how others see it. Legal is expensive. Do you know how expensive it would be to fund any lawsuit? I was talking to a certain individual. I'm trying to get their approval to like drop their name, but they had an identity theft case that was 200 grand. It cost them 200 grand for a minor identity theft case. We're talking about an international security fraud, millionaires. How much is Mark Tritton worth? You think? I don't know. I'm not gonna. Sorry, this is too
No,
too
10K
emotional.
gets
No, hey,
10K
keep
gets
cooking.
Michael 3 hours for sure.
Yeah,
Honestly, in my opinion,
That's a drop in the bucket.
I feel like by Pulte agreeing to pay 10,000 or 20,000 for lawyers, wouldn't that just be implementing himself into this even more?
he
Yeah,
can
but
do
it gets on record that he was saying, "I have no idea what's going on. Go start a
Yeah,
lawsuit."
and you can gift up to $18,000 a year to a person, so he's not doing anything legally wrong. And he never even came into these spaces until we were in the expert market and couldn't even trade anyway. So how is that manipulation?
That's not super true. He was in
I'm
here
not saying
since
that.
July.
I'm not.
I'm just saying that if you think he's trying to cover his ass, wouldn't it be better just to shut the fuck up instead of like
Nope, it's too late.
instead
Too
of
late for
telling us
that.
to pursue our
No,
legal rights? I mean,
no,
I'm
there's
just saying,
stuff
like
out
it
there.
seems like he's not stepping away; he's getting more involved. It's just the way I
The
see it.
He's
side
been
of,
weaponizing us. This is 6D chess for sure. And I'm no lawyer, but I don't know how the law works in that regard. But they may not even look into Triton unless there's a derivative complaint from a shareholder. So it may open up a whole can of worms that wasn't open.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But the question
What?
for me is, do they need to look at him for the play to go forward? I think if the play goes forward and then you take after Triton would be the same result. I don't think we need Triton taken out for this. And I do believe that Cohen and Icon are involved. And I believe that they dotted every T or crossed every T and dotted every I. See, I can't even speak. But I think it's covered. And I have no trepidation, no fear, no uncertainty, and no doubt we're going to be made whole.
That's the unanimous thing. We all agree that we've won. We all agree on that.
I'm a little bit more cut and dry because this is like a too good to be true situation. But I've always been of the idea that, like, it's either Cohen or Eichen coming in and saving us, or you're just like it's like another bankrupt stock that the stockholders get wiped out. Boo hoo. That
No,
happens
this is
all the
chapter
time.
11. This isn't 7.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, you have to. I mean, not all chapters 11s end in the
Yeah, I know.
shareholder.
They can go to chapter 7 and then get liquidated. I get it.
But it doesn't even matter about that. I'm just saying it's either one thing or the other. And I don't think that now 3 months after we don't have any shares in our accounts, we're going to be able to do anything legally. I mean, the time to come in and say, you guys have rights, you should explore this, is when we're trading. I mean, technically the plan's been confirmed and you can change that. Credit bids incoming. But the only thing that's going on right now behind closed doors is the plan administrator going after, follow the money. That's all that's really happening right now. It doesn't really pertain to us. So unless someone's coming to save us, which they are, it's all noise. We're waiting. It's I'm I'm tuning these space calls. I'm eating my popcorn, watch people throw crap at each other. I'd use another word, Chad, but I think your kids are around. All just noise. It's
Real quick, I
entertainment.
want to add, and this is for all the shills out there. Why aren't we chapter 7, right? We're still chapter 11 right now. We're not chapter 7. You can go from chapter 11 to chapter 7, and we haven't. I think that's just a compelling question at this point because we have been in limbo land so long that, it probably would have happened by now, right? And it has not. And, this was a question that I didn't even come up with. I was talking to a banker friend of mine about it, and he's like, I'm surprised you guys haven't gone chapter 7 yet. And I go, fucking exactly. So, anyways, I just wanted to bring that point up real quick.
Why did they spend millions if it was a liquidation? Why did they spend millions on attorneys and on logistics if this is a liquidation?
It's great to hear from you, Monotonous. I'm glad you're in here today.
Yeah, I'm glad. Happy to be back in some capacity. So, thank you.
Hey,
Mr. Bad.
Rock Solid, can you get DK up here? Or never mind, I got him. He was glitching out. I was trying to bring him up as a speaker.
Yeah, we got a few, and I will mention if anyone doesn't have a quick point to add, we do have a few requests. I'm just keeping it 100.
I think they're gone now. All the requests were good.
I can step down, but if I could share a quick part
I see
opinion.
4 or I see 3 right now.
One more
That's
thing
good.
I wanted to mention on the legal front, and I don't have any expertise in game theory or anything like that, but I do think that there's more risk in not doing anything, as opposed to actually proactively exploring potential legal resources, slowly but incrementally in an evidence-based kind of way that does not result in something that causes delays like Neely Doss has had. I want to frame it that way. I don't think anybody here has any intention of causing any kind of additional delay. And I also think about the exact opposite thing occurring too. Maybe by applying additional pressure from another angle, it has the opposite effect as Neely Doss in that it forces them to close whatever creditor issue gaps remain and facilitates a substantial consummation or whatever, or substantial. I can't say the words, but anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. But
like Bill said
we just need
yesterday,
to make sure.
Yeah, I mean, these guys live, breathe, and eat this shit. What's the harm as far as these lawsuits go? As far as holding things up, I do agree with them there in that regard.
Hey, Rock, what are your thoughts? Like, the fact that he's given Michael $10K to go get a lawyer and not telling us to just, go pursue it yourself, like that alone, like kind of was confirmation for me to not even stress yet. I mean, the bankruptcy's not even finished, and it's like no matter what, we can pursue this afterwards if we have to on our own. Like, we will have that option. And I just that's what keeps me zen. I just feel like I feel like he just wants to speed the process up as far as getting some answers with the math, because the math
And
doesn't
he's
add up.
coming up right now. So if he connects, I think he's connecting now. We're gonna have him up here. So I'd love to hear from Bill himself.
Hey, Bat, I'd love to hear what you have to say. My arm is hurting. You've had your hand up for so long.
Also, Bat, I unblocked you.
I just wanted to reiterate real quick what Hulkster was saying earlier. I did feel that energy too as well, and I thought it was kind of strange. PP really wasn't, I don't know, he seemed like 50-50 on that whole scenario with the lawyer and I remember it was a time when Pulte would tweet something, everything stopped. We all went into it. We dived into it like, oh shit, Pulte tweeted, but now all of a sudden, I don't know, it's just very strange to me.
Morning, Bill. How are you, man?
Good. Yeah, definitely don't pay attention to my tweets. Yeah, I mean, I'm willing to put up the 10K for Michael, but other than that, I'm done talking about the legal stuff because I've said my piece. It's how I feel, and you're not going to hear me talk about it in the coming days. So,
Well,
Thanks, Bill.
I tend to think you've been abundantly clear in talking with us. So once again, appreciate your guidance.
you ever heard the saying, "Look a gift horse in the mouth," or you don't know what you have till it's gone. I'm not going to sit here and state my opinion again and again and then get attacked for it. So you won't hear me be talking about legal anymore.
Hey, Pulte, just want to thank you. This is the first time I've talked while you're up here, or kind of situation. Loved everything that you've done for the community. You have gone more than above and beyond what you would be even expected, not even expected, but what people would hope you would do. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll reiterate that. You've said I have nothing for love but love for people that they're like, I don't know why they're saying this about Pulte. You're trying to unite all the communities, not only BBBY and GME, but other stocks that have been run into the ground by either their CEOs and shorters and all kinds of stuff. Our federal people that are supposed to protect us. So kudos to you, brother. I love you, man. Please keep that up, and please help unite the division. Please continue that.
That's right, man. We're exposing crime. That's what we're doing.
We are, but greed and pride and ego and all this stuff, it's in my opinion, it's why I'm being attacked for just giving my honest opinion. So I'm just going to step back for a little bit, and I'll always be here. I'll always support, and I'll always try to unite everybody, but I'm sick of getting shit for helping people. It's like when I started Twitter philanthropy, I used to believe, the saying, no deed goes unpunished. And I quickly realized that literally you could give people free money and they would complain about it. And it's just human nature. And my saying began, or the saying in my head, I don't think it was worded right when it said no deed goes unpunished. The saying in my head started to become all deeds get punished. All deeds get punished. So, in my mind, it's like I'm kind of falling in the same trap that I did with Twitter philanthropy, and I just need to pick and choose who I help, and make sure that they're grateful, because it's one thing to help people, and I'm all about helping people, but if I'm going to get attacked for it, or if people are going to be complicit or allow attacks on me, then there's plenty of other places, as you guys can imagine, just like in your own lives. If you're getting treated that certain way, there's a lot of other things you can do with your life. In my case, it's true philanthropy, and it's not, just some trolls on the internet that are attacking me that I'm helping. I mean, I'm helping people who, my saying with Twitter philanthropy is we try to help people who can't help themselves. And when somebody gets a cancer diagnosis that's terminal, or when somebody has some kind of degenerative disease, you know, uh, by the way, those people are always grateful because they don't have the luxuries of sitting behind a keyboard and complaining that, Pulte's giving his opinion based on his significant business experience, which, by the way, has been very successful, about what people should do legally. I mean, I just don't need to. I just don't need to listen to that, and I don't need that in my life. It's just I don't
Ignore
need it.
it. Ignore it, man. You work
You got to
so
ignore it.
damn hard.
You got to ignore it. But at the same time, you got to know your worth and know your value. And I've done a
That's
lot.
right,
I
dude.
put up.
Look at what you're doing for this world. You're
I
a
put up
great
over.
fucking man.
I put up over $100,000, and people say for the event, and people on Reddit say, "Oh, Pulte's bragging about how much money I'm putting up." What are you talking about? I'm saying
No, you're leading by example. You're showing people how to give. You're showing people how to do things to make it happen. You're being a leader by example, which is awesome. The reason you're being attacked for it is because you're leading and showing people the way. That's a huge threat, Bill. And I appreciate you leading that. But I would also encourage you, if you are under too much of attack, please don't stop doing the good. Just take a step away from the spotlight until you get your energy back, and then start doing it again and rinse and repeat, brother.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to stop, to be clear. I'm just going to refocus on where I can have a high impact and where people are grateful and gracious. And there's many people in this community who are. But, again, it's a self-respect thing at some point, right? It's like, I don't know if any of you guys have kids, but it's like if you have a kid and you give the kid, $100, or, that's a lot of money, but let's say you give them $10, and you give them another $10, and you give them another $10. All of a sudden, they start to get, the famous words, right? And they start to get entitled, and you just can't keep giving the kid the money, and in the case of like a drug addict, you can't keep bailing out the drug addict, right? So again, I'm just saying I'm going to keep on going. I'm going to keep on fighting, but I'm just going to reprioritize where my help is needed. And I've said my piece on the legal front. I'm done saying it. And if Michael needs help offline, I'm happy to do that. Of course, I have great respect for Michael. I think he's been nothing but a class act. I think his intent is 100% pure from everything I've observed, and that's what I'm going to do. So I just want to be clear. I'm not intimidated, or I'm not going away. I'm just going to reprioritize based on people like Michael who appreciate the $10,000. I mean, I literally got somebody saying, what are you doing to run $10,000? $10,000 is nothing. Excuse me, that's $10,000 more than you're giving, you know? So I'm just saying, it's like, I'm not going to talk about it more than this. So
It is crystal clear what you're saying, and I hope everybody here really understands what he's saying. It is it's obvious, bro, guys.
So we should set up a good legal site, put all the DD on there, and get it all ship shape, and then just send it off to a lawyer, and then see what they think we should do. There's no like lawsuits or any of that stuff yet. It's just getting stuff organized.
Hey, I just got out of the shower. What did I miss?
Bill just gave a great explanation of what he's going to be doing moving forward and how he is finding his way to avoid the trolls.
I think Bill's essentially
or
saying
certainly,
that.
or certainly not to reward the trolls. I'm not going to reward bad behavior going forward. And it is my money. People can mock me and say, "Oh, it's only $10,000." Well, it's my $10,000. So, it's my own money. It's the same thing with Twitter philanthropy. I can do what I want with my own money, and I'm not going to give it to people who are ungrateful and who are going to then turn around and allow others to mock me or whatever. And that's not about anyone particular. It's just a general statement. It's a matter of self-respect.
The few points I had earlier, as far as anyone listening who feels jaded, I hope everyone can kind of hear some of the things he's saying. When you kind of walk around with that attitude, the ungrateful, the unappreciative, the unwillingness to recognize the generosity, someone's putting effort in to help you out. Like I am personally, like I have been feeling disappointed all morning. I don't want to be vindictive or whatever. I kind of do just want to shout "fuck you" to the world as far as the people who feel jaded. But overall, the feeling is just massive disappointment, and I'm sorry for those who take it to that extreme.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, it's even like this Atlanta event. You know, it came from good intent, and I heard a lot of people said that they were from the Midwest and they couldn't afford. So I said, well, we'll do an event in Chicago. I don't care about the events. I mean, you think I actually need to go and write checks to do events? You know, I'm trying to do my part to unite everybody and to try to take on a very corrupt and a very vicious system. And it's a lot of these trolls, in my opinion, and even, you know, people internally who turn on each other and who are more interested in drama, that is the reason that the corrupt system is just kicking our ass, in my opinion. I mean, to me, it's like, why would anybody make fun of an event in Atlanta? I mean, they can make fun of it if you're a meltdowner and you're a loser, but this is positive progress. This is bringing people together. This is coming together in the physical world. This is trying to unite people just beyond an online movement. This is trying to get people to physically show up in the physical form. I mean, if you were in that room in Florida where we all were, I mean, there was something special about all being there in the physical form, human beings rallying together and saying, we're not going to take it anymore. And so it's just, so again, I'm going to go forward with the Atlanta event. If people don't want to go, or if they think I'm trying to shill Pulte homes, okay, have at it. Okay. I own like $17 million in Pulte stock. Okay. I'm worth hundreds of millions of dollars. If you think that I'm trying to shill or I'm trying to, you know, fake expenses for an event or whatever, and you don't believe my intent, then just don't come to my things. You know what I mean? So I'm going to vet everybody very carefully who, you know, comes to these events and who I platform going forward. Um, you know, because I have a very big platform and people trust me. People trust me on Twitter. They know that I deliver. I do what I say I'm going to do. You may not always like it, but I do what I say I'm going to do. And I'm just not going to give as freely anymore. So,
Well, people see your influence and they're simply just jealous, in my opinion. That's why they attack you, because they want that kind of influence, or they don't think you should have influence that you do in community.
And not only that, I'd almost compare Pulte to more of a figure like so Robert K. and his book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I would like to consider Pulte more of the rich dad life example. If you've read the book, you know what I mean by that. It's just, he knows what he's doing. He's doing the appropriate things, and he's showing everybody how that works in real time.
yeah, but if you, yeah, to your point, if you don't want to do it, if you just want to sit on Reddit and be a loser, right? Or listen to people who, you know, haven't accomplished anything in business and are losers, you know, go listen to that. You don't need to listen to me, you know?
Pulte, what you have done is nothing short of amazing. You're being a good steward of what you've been given. You're leaving the world a better place. Mash the gas, brother. Let's go.
Yep. Well, I'm not stopping. All I'm doing is reprioritizing my wealth. I mean, I plan to, it's all subject to change, I guess, but I plan to give away all my money before I die. And people can mock the $10,000. They can mock the $100,000 for the event, which, by the way, was world class. Okay. We could have spent $2 on that thing. And you think people are complaining about some stereo system not being on, they'd be complaining like there's no way till tomorrow. That was a world class event. And I had the biggest YouTubers, the biggest influencers in the world say, nobody's ever put on an event like that. Not even Trump puts on an event like that. And I'd say him and Obama were probably the two bigger ones who did it. And we put on a great event. It was the talk of the whole investor community. You have the sitting board member of GameStop. And what do? We somehow find a way to shit on Pulte and say, oh, no, we're not, you know, we're not fans of the Atlanta event. All I'm saying is we're going to keep on going. We're going to reprioritize with who it is. We have a great platform. We have a great team. Everybody in here I consider a teammate. Even, you know, everybody in the community I consider a teammate. We have a huge platform. We're not going to stop. I'm going to keep going on Fox. I'm going to keep going on CNBC because we can't be scared of these people. We need to bring the truth to the masses. We cannot be afraid. And I want people to know, I'm not saying I'm being afraid. I'm not scared that people disagree or whatever people want to conjure up about lawyers. All I'm saying is I'm going to just reapportion my giving. And anyway, that's enough. That's enough for me. You guys don't want to, you guys
Hey,
don't,
no,
you guys don't need to hear anymore.
Like Elon says it, all you have to say, man, is GFY. go fuck yourself. All those haters, they can go
I
fuck
love it.
themselves, Paulie, because we know
Well-
who you are deep down.
Well, they're going to
Well-
see it now with my money and my attention, because I'm not giving my money, and I'm not giving my attention, and I'm not giving my
Yeah.
platform to people who are ungrateful. I'm just not
And
doing it
So
anymore.
what, Bill?
You guys got to
Bill, what?
understand too. We lose when Pulte changes as well, because he helped us so much, and
Agreed.
what's happening right now is just freaking shame, guys.
Disappointment.
Big fucking shame, bro. I'm fucking really disappointed.
Hey,
Thank you,
Bill.
Bill, for everything, brother.
It's Blur. Just want to say that you're a warrior. Grandpa William J. Pulte was a warrior. The more I read about your history and your guys' history and the way that he raised you, I see he raised you to have honor, courage, and commitment. And not only that, he's a fighter. He's a warrior. Just like you said, UNRC. Essentially, yesterday, I laughed so hard at the space call that was called Trusting Cohen. But I
It's
believe
great, right? You gotta love that. They all say, I love Ryan Cohen. I love Ryan Cohen, and you trust anything Ryan Cohen does. Okay, well, his only public communication really is through his tweets and his likes. And who's he liking? And then these people somehow find a way to spin it negative on me. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And if Ryan Cohen could speak, and I'm not speaking for him, but I'm sure he would have something to say about, the people who say that kind of shit.
I think Fleur
absolutely.
and I know people reap what they sow, isn't it?
And based off history with your grandpa, he's been through his whole from 1950s all the way up until I just recently I've read something about a 13D. He was 85 years old, your grandpa, and he was still fighting for the over 6,000 employees, still fighting for the family legacy, still fighting for what's right.
Him
And just like
him and I were joined at the hip. That's why this is child's play. These trolls and stuff. And I want people to know I'm not scared by these trolls. I'm not scared by these people even in our own community who are taking shots at me. I'm not scared by them. All I'm doing is rearranging strategy and saying, know your worth. Know your worth. And we got a great team, and Plur, you're one of the I'm nothing without you guys, and I'm nothing without my 3 million teammates. And Plur, you're the cream of the crop.
Thank you so much, and that means a lot to me because of you, I now see things in a perspective I've never seen before in my life based off my job. I typically only see things at the tactical level. Everything's about getting the mission done at the tactical level. You have essentially, because of things that you have taught me through your book and things that you have spoken on, I now see things at the operational as well as the strategic level.
Yeah, the strategic is above
Absolutely.
the tactical. And I would just encourage everybody, if you hear it in my voice, and if you're wondering what I would do in your case, I would strategically step back. I'd look at everything. I'd look at the play. I'd look at the players. I'd look at who's been the most successful financially and otherwise. Financially, I say look at success because, financials don't lie. People do, right? A lot of people do smoke screens, and they use these things called words, these beautiful things called words to spin people. But money and finances don't lie. So I'd strategically step back, reevaluate. It's a new year. It's a new you. You got a new lease on life going forward. Who are you going to strategically listen to? And if you're not going to listen to somebody like me, fine. But find somebody who's financially successful, who is not, has their life screwed up, who has a great track record in business and in otherwise. And obviously, that person to me, somebody that I admire in that regard is Ryan Cohen. And I think he and I, are of the same whatever ilk. But if you disagree with me, then, then do just focus on Ryan or find other people that you're doing. Because right now, the fact of where this movement is, you're going to see more infighting. This is why I'm saying I'm just going to reapportion myself to other things. You're going to see more infighting. You're going to see more egos. I mean, wait, you think you've seen human nature. Wait till you not only see greed, but wait until you see fame. And you're going to see people who think that they have fame in this movement, whether it's AMC, whether it's BBBY, whether it's IEP. Fame does weird things to people. It does weird, weird, weird things. Um, and, it's almost like gluttony. It's almost like that's why I posted the 7 deadly sins, because gluttony is a big one. And it's not greed, right? Gluttony is I want more, more, more. And the way fame works, if you're not careful, is it can be intoxicating, and you can start dividing, and it's just it's a very slippery slope. So I say that to everybody, to just strategically step back. You're right about the tactical level, but the tactics emanate from the strategy. And I think everybody should step back and figure out what they're going to do. And that's what I've been thinking on and praying on and meditating the last few days, literally, for 3-4 hours, is, okay, how do we take this movement to actually win? Because the other thing is, and I'll leave you with this thought, is even if I didn't like that people were dividing or embracing drama or these other things, whether it be trolls or whether it be people in the community, think about who you want to go to war with. And Plur, this as being a soldier, but who do you want to go to war with? Do you want to go to war with people who instantly turn on each other and create drama and, pseudo talk shit about each other when you're in the beginning? I mean, this is like the first inning. I mean, you think this is something, you haven't seen anything yet. And Plur, you're talking about my grandfather and I mean, in my opinion, they wanted him and I dead when we were fighting the Fortune 500 company. And I would argue that there are bigger enemies in terms of this play and other plays than even we experienced. And we're not even to that point where people want people dead. So again, I'm not threatening. I'm not saying that there's going to be violence. Please, I'm all about peace and love and generosity. But I'm just saying, we're in the first inning out of 9 innings. And, the fact that people have time to, attack each other or make passive aggressive comments, boy, I ain't going to war with that person. I mean, I want to go to war with people who are strong leaders. And everybody can be a leader, every individual person, but especially these so-called leaders in the community. People have got to step up and be strong and not divide, because that's weak leadership. And people fall weak to greed, and they fall weak to gluttony. They fall weak to all the 7 sins. So good thing is there's a lot of dudes here, so it's not like a lot of people are falling to lust. But hey, you never know.
Preach,
try to
man.